Asalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatu walaalayaal kusoo dhawaada walaalkiina maxamed afduub again dhinaca cryptocurrency especially BNB chart analysis technical analysis meel kasta aad joogtiin waan wada salaamay maantadan waxaan igu soo dhaweynayaa nothing else but BNB BNB aniga one of the charts waxaa waa aan sugayo ama aan slowly progressive aan kusoo galayo slow buys aan ku sameynayo because what I could see iyo waxa ujeedo aan ila qaybsanaya fikradaneeto meeshaan waxaan sababtaan u yeelayo this bahalkaneeto technical analysis majority of us anaka dhinaca walaalaheena ummadda Soomaalida investment qaar waa adiga investment waa ku yarnahnay dadna waa jiraan investment oo ku badan yihiin 10 years 5 sano soo socoto 2 sano soo socoto oo rabaan koolyaan ila iibsadaan ee wax fiican ay ka raadsadaan gacmaheenan iska yar tahay waxaana nahnay ummadda inaan ka mid noqono ummadda trading ka qayb qaadanaya haddii aad tahay oo adiga aad rabtid trader aad noqotid oo meeshaan aad u imaadid on a daily basis ama weekly aad soo fariisanaysid as leedahay aniga meeshaan entry aan ku sameynaya and then I'm gonna take my profits whether aa ahaato inaad buy u galaysid ama sell u galaysid dhinaca rabtid aad u galaysid but midda maanta nila qaybsado rabo is the projection aniga Binance aan ujeedo likelihood of Binance meesha u socoto aan aniga dhinacay taxliilinayo oo aan hore usoo dhex dhigay bahalkii la yiraahdo bahalka magaciisa iga maqane x.com ay dhahaan twitterka aan soo dhex dhigay for a very long time this chart has saa ujeedid hadeertaan waxaa fiirinayo waxaa waaye aan ka bilaabay monthly aan ka bilaabay so haddii la fiiriyo monthly BNB has been bahalkii wax la yiraahdo progressively continuing on an uptrend, right? Kama hadlayo the past, kama hadlayo 2018, kama hadlayo 2019, waxaan ka hadlayaa maanta 2024 oo adiga 4 beri ay ka dhiman tahay may Allahumma salli ala Muhammad almost adiga 2 beri camal calendar what does it show 3 days 3 beri camal ay ka dhiman tahay sanadka intuusan dhamaanin 2025 la galin BNB has been showing some kind of wax la yiraahdo consolidation oo ku jiray haddii aad taqaanid how can I just go to Google very simple waxaa ku tusinaya the chart pattern I'm looking at waxaa la yiraahdaa rectangle chart patterns rectangular chart pattern oo ku jira I mean this is a very efficient trading waaye haddii aad fiirinaysid images oo kana Instopedia waad ka heli kartaa Instopedia it's a good place actually or definition oo ku siinayo waxyaalaha all the charts are there are so many waa badan yihiin but ani ahaan I stick to very little intaan for every person qof kasto wuxuu leeyahay technique uu leeyahay strategy uu leeyahay waa kala wada duwanahnay qof kasta strategy ayuu raacaa aniga strategy-yaasha aan raaco waa yar yihiin mana badno isku badiyay coin-yaasha way badan yihiin there's so many coins out there but you can go and use waxyaalahan oo isticmaali kartaa rectangular waa kana price formation waaye and analysis patterns is derived from ninkan laga soo qaaday Richard Shabaka father of technical analysis and Edward and McGee labadan horta waan garanaa labadan buugtooda maraan aqristay xiriisaan aqristay I didn't completely finish of it so many of them kuwana zaid u isticmaalayo so I go to the fathers of trading I go to waxa dadka la yiraahdo classical chart patterns classical traders ayaan aadaa and these classical traders most of them they waxay ku dhigan yihiin something very simple and you can see what basic it's a support and a resistance wax ka dhaxeeyo male it's a support and resistance it's a rectangular pattern shows support and resistance mostly it could act as a either reversal or as a continuation صح so Either it could be a reversal or a continuation. A reversal waxa way when it's actually sitting at the top. For example, support is defined as any point below the current, and resistance waa naqaana wuxuu yahay when the current is above. Resistance waa kana si fiican u naqaana intuu ku yaala resistance iyo hadartan meeshaan uu taagan yahay resistance. Support waa kana another support right here, right? At least two supports kan wuu kasoo gaabaday, it's not there. But that could be a good indication of resistance and support ku kutusinayo. And the targeting price waxa waaye high lows, rather bars, whatever kind of absent indicators. MACD is galeen, MACD is cut off. I'm not looking at MACD. It tested the horizontal line several times. Balka denote significant support in OEHI and a resistance, significant resistance OEHI. So support was established in sometime September, and there was a sufficient buying interest to drive the stock higher, which eventually, why don't you had to sit down on an example that it actually broke out. The measuring principle allows you to set up a specific minimum price target. Such a target give you the objectively to hold during periods of minor counter trades. So if you look at it, the top was 47, the bottom was 37, and the high points is 10. That is the objectively price target kisa, which is a minimum target of 57. Because when it breaks up, you have 10 points in a cryptocurrency or percentage, and that's what you are targeting. So aniga hadda meesha aan nila qaybsanayo wax kale ma ahan. It is this monthly breakout. So the monthly breakout kaneto, you have to like pay extra attention to it. Hatta let's say a weekly basis. So you have Bahal Kaneto has been between this chart pattern for the past almost wuxuu ku jiraa all the way adiga ilaa inta maantadan meeshaan uu taagan yahay. Waxa waaye at least 187 bars, meaning it has been on 187 weeks ayuu ku jiraa. So 187 weeks or meeshaneto price kaneto up and down ku jiray, and now it has come down to the weekly, monthly waa kasoo dhaqaaqnay, weekly afiirinaya. On a weekly basis you have the same chartka, it's very clean, waxyaalo badan ma ku jiro, qashin badan ma ku jiro. You can also see meeshaneto wuxuu ahay on a weekly basis ayuu ahay intuu ahay there was a good breakout ka dhacay. This is a smaller pattern ku jiray within it, which acted as a bulk reversal. So haddii BNB waagaasito uu ku jiray oo meeshaanito breakdown ku samey lahay, that would have been a good wax la yiraahdo continuation. So asigoo uptrend ku jiro oo soo noqday, and then you had this reversal trend line oo ku jiray on a downward scale. So you see this is a downward scale oo ku jira, and then now you have this thing coming in into imaade. Let's say meeshaneto for example maba gaarinbo waxaa ku jirta let's get this thing trend line. Let's say into maanta marooya suuqa asigoo into marooyo 2023 November ka ayaa taagan tahay, and you are watching this 2023 ayaa taagan tahay inta daawanaysa bahalkan down trade ku jiray, and then waxaa ka aragtay this rectangle, and now you're expecting a breakout down below. Breakout kaseto haddii oosan sameynin oo markasta laga soo celiyay, and then you see this continuation or resistance kan oo imaaday. What you do is you wait for a weekly candle close continuation waxay la yiraahdaan a breakout. But since this did not happen, dhinacaneto oo adiga continuation ka hoos u dhicin oo hoos u jabsanin, you do not have a breakout. So breakout ma haysatid, you have a good support and you have at least a good resistance meeshaneto. Resistance kaneto ayaa ku haysata. Let's just write that resistance fiicana meeshaas ku haysata. At least you are waiting for a weekly close above this resistance. Your weekly closes above it, and then your target should definitely be meeshaneto 594. Not 100% 594, but that's kind of close average wise. So eventually kana wuxuu noqday wax la yiraahdo reversal. So it did not become a continuation rectangular pattern. Inta waxay haday noo sharaxayeen waxay ahayd wuxuu noqon karaa a continuation uu noqon karaa ama wuxuu noqonayaa a reversal. But every time ultimately either accumulation ama distribution prevails before the breakout. Accumulation ama distribution accumulates before it. So inta haddii aad fiirisid BNB ku noqoto before this weekly above it, waxaad ka aragtaa wax la yiraahdo a consolidation ama accumulation, right? Right here could have been at least a balki eventually a distribution ka dhici lahaay, but it accumulated. So was soo noqday, and now price has come to meeshaneeto resistance kaanu imaaday before it or kor usii dhaqaaqin, it accumulated. So and let's draw another line here, and then I want to show you guys on a daily wise haddii aad ku noqotid meesha linekaas nagu sawiran aadeenaa measure line nagu soo arena daily wise haddii aad fiirisid breakout ka dhacay, right? So you have a breakout and eventually on a daily perspective baalkaneeto wuxuu ku sameeyey wax la yiraahdo a retestigiisana moosan usoo dhawaanin. So if I was a good like a trader and which I am, haddii aad fiirinaysid baalkaneeto meeshaan hadda kasoo galayo, you have at least some 6% increase of a breakout. Good confirmation why, and then you have this volume at fiirinaysid, you know, volume kaneeton waa ujeedaa, it's actually increasing, right? So you have an increase of a volume, increase of a price analysis, price action, good breakout. So noqoshadaneeta ka galaysa, at least you go in here. This is where you enter. This is your entry point. You know that breakout kaseto confirmed. On a daily wise, it's like 6%, 5%. I know it's not huge, but for BNB it's very huge. For other coins, it's way bigger than that. So now you have waxaaseeto on a weekly basis waxaa ujeednaa that we have this confirmation of a good rectangle price kaaseeto oo wuxuu nagu noqday a good reversal oo noqday. It did not become a continuation, so we agreed on the price analysis oo aan ujeedno oo yahay not a reversal, wuxuu noqday not a continuation but a reversal oo kasoo noqonayo from the downtrend, or instead oo noqonayo an uptrend, right? So downtrendkii waa laga soo baxay, haddeertaan waxaa loo socdaa dhinacii uptrend. You can see very good higher lows every time oo sii socda wuxuu sameynaya high lows oo sameynaya. So you have a confirmation dhinacii price analysis continuation ka uu ku dhahoyo. You have a lower highs, and you eventually having wax la yiraahdo higher highs. Wuxuu sameeyay a breakout of the all-time high, but wuu kasoo noqday. So on a weekly basis, you have a smaller rectangle which acted as a reversal, and now you are at the top. At the top of the field, all we are looking at is this huge rectangle. That rectangle right now is showing us another good indication of either a reversal or a continuation of a breakout. So sidee u kala saaraysaa a continuation of a breakout or a reversal is to actually look at horta kan aan iska bedelno. Let's just get rid of this thing and delete that. Let's go back to weekly. Weekly waxaa kala rabaa inaan notusiyo very simple weekly moving average, exponential moving average ama simple moving average. Every time bahalkaneeto BNB was coming below the 21 moving average, short ku fiicnaaye, and there was one time, you know, it did a breakout, but eventually wuxuu noqday a false breakout. But you were paying attention to the previous highs, you could have been like, oh, okay, breakout kaneeto was not a strong breakout. Immediately waxaa kasoo dhacday a reversal. So this 21 moving average kisa did not yet act as a support. It was acting as a resistance. Every time Imanoya, this would have been a good, at least wuxuu ku ahaa a good entry for a short. All the way into Kukeni Lahai, I mean, at least you would have had a good percentage of Wahli Rado, 39%. But right now, you could see every time Meshaneto resistance go high, but your simple 21 moving average Kadi acted as a support right now. We know this is now also another support. So we have a confirmation of Wahli Rado 21 simple moving 21 moving average weekly wire. It's not the daily. A continuation of Kujurto. So until it goes below it, the longs have a waxa la yiraahdo strong momentumkiisa dhinaca longska ayuu u badan yahay. So we've seen this in the past. We've seen this weekly accumulation. So this is a really good hadartan oo meeshaan bahalkan intuu ku fadhiyo, that you are getting some kind of a weekly bahalkii la yiraahdo accumulation. That's what you want to see before actually it breaks out. And you know, you can have how many meeqa mar oo soo taaban kara, it depends, you know. Waxaa jirto almost wuxuu soo taabtay 1 2 3 afar mar oo soo taabtay before it actually broke out. So you at least waxaad u baahan tahay 3 touches before it breaks out. Um, there was a one time that it actually tried to break out into Hadartan with a 13% uptrend, but there was no continuation. So at the admission Kugali had without the second candle, I mean, yeah, you could have waited for at least another week. I think Mafirino sit on a daily, Mafirino sit lower. You are looking at the long term hold. Coin can hurry our coin in the Kugishi long, and you can hold it for about maybe a month or two, and you can be at a high good return cassette in a kujurtin as either spot or long akugalacid, whatever it is. So that is how you actually balkanate to akutrade grain seed. Now let's go back to on a daily wise, show you how actually how the momentum is being supported. You can go back to 50 moving average, and you go to your 200 simple moving average, Kadi. So you have your both simple moving average, your 50 moving average being supported. It's above the 50 moving average, and it's above the 200 simple moving average. So support Kadi measure so really kufadia. You're still holding your support. It did not break below this as a below as a balki bears taking the upper hand. Bears commission so galin to show in a bears confirmation and the bears have not got a confirmation. That done is so that is in kind of henin. I know we saw that how many percent? 22%. 22% to a BTC or 4% I'm also that day. So that 22% let it not scare you out. Hadi at sogashe ama at sleda BNB and gadana. You are looking for the long term. waxaad fiirinaysaa labada bil, saddexda bil, afarta bil soo socoto. That is your target goal. waxyaalahan yar yar ay soo daadanayso you ka cabsiinin. Let it not play with your emotions, Kadi. Um, have that patience with yourself, you know. Have that sabarkaaseeto badi, dulqaadashadaaseeto badi, you know. That's how the trading is, you know. waxaa laga yaabaa ina inta kusoo gashay one of the longs and then other time percentage loss ku jirtaa. You are targeting higher than that. Last cassette had a few akujurtud mufirinosid. You are not at a loss yet until you sell it. Dina spot. If you are in like futures trading, yeah, that's a heavy loss. Whatever average average or leverage ka kulu jurtid. So whatever leverage akuso gashay, this 20%, it's huge. But eventually, what you are looking for is this breakout. Now we know on a daily wise, we know BNB on a daily wise, two things ujedit. You have an uptrend, even though also that you have an uptrend, and you also have your volume continuing high highs, right? You have at least a continuation of a volume increase when you also have wahli yirahdo price action increasing, momentum of the price action increasing. Waxaa haysataa above the 50 simple moving average, and you also have a confirmation that the 200 simple moving average kanito ma usoo dhawaanin. If haddii is leedahay aniga waxaa ku jirtaa dhinaca bearskan ku sugaya, this will be a good place to actually buy it. Buy hadda basigshanaysaabo. Eventually this simple moving average uu sii dhaqaaqi doonaa asigii iyo 50gii asku imaa doono, but this was a good cross, you know, where they say 50 moving average goes above the 200 and 200 goes below the 50. waxaa waaye bears iyo bulls ay kala yihiin. So there's a death cross iyo kii kale muxuu ahay golden cross. So we are not considering that hadartan. It's past it, soo dhaafay. The bulls have the upper hand. Bullska inta gacanta meeshaneeto, they have the strong hand, and you can see on a daily wise the bulls are actually came in with a strong buy, a price ko kusoo celinayaan from the previous resistance and resistance kaneto on a daily wise. This was a good breakout actually. This was a really nice good breakout. Continuation laga rabay, but there was no continuation. It got rejected. Waa laga soo celiyay. that tells you even though that they rejected this or dhinaca beeskaneeto on this candle kan kana ka hadlooyo, there was a lot of sellers meeshan ku jiray. The buyers try to hold this and continue it, but they buyers ka maysan sii wadin priceka gacan xoogan meeshan maysan ku leheen. Waa laga soo celiyey, soo celishadaasayta laga soo celiyey, it's not huge. Then you can see others, the buyers stepped in when the sellers came in. So the sellers came in here and the buyers decided, you know what, anaka meesha ka soo galnay, we would not let it this continue and eventually end up being a break below this trend line. So this trend line sometimes actually, waxyaalahan, some of them mostly they are not reliable. Trend line kan inta markasta uu isbedelaya, you can go up here and you can go here waa isbedelaya, at least have meel ku taagnaado oo ku fariisto, and bahalkan inta eventually trend line kan haduu soo jabsado, that would be a good place for you to be like, you know what, aniga meeshaan inta waan ka baxaya. I see a reversal, I see a bahalkii la yiraahdo price-ka inuu isbedelo dhinaca kale usoo socdo. But not fully 100%. Isha kusii ahaanaysa, there could be a false breakout adan inuu kusoo noqdo. So we hadartan, haddii aan isoo gaabiyo, we know that on a monthly basis. On a monthly basis, bahalkaneeto, it's in a really good rectangle chart formation oo ku jira. We are only waiting for the breakout. Wuxuu soo taabtay almost laba markii koowaad, markii labaad, markii saddexaad, waa markii afraad oo waxyiris kor u jabsaday. So it's actually sitting at the resistance on a monthly wise, right? Waa same thing on a weekly wise haddii aad fiirinaysid. Waxaan bixino, let's close that up. We know right now this resistance, this rectangle kanita kahadleno, it's probably and definitely going to be a continuation, not a reversal. You will eventually see Balkaneto, it will be tested again when that breakout happens. Breakout kaseto marko kadaho, it's a good opportunity or fursat fi'an or price kaneto, BNB, it will discover and it will definitely go to $1,000 ikabadan. So let's go to 1618. 1618 wuxuu ku fadhiyaa almost $900 ku fadhiyaa right here, right? This is a 1618. Measures of 1618 ku fadhiyaa. So it could actually go all the way above even the 1618. So why do I say that? That's a good fib. Bahalka la yiraahdo, bahalka markaad, you want to see a price discovery markaad raadinaysid, the fib is a good tool. Fib-ka waa la isticmaalaa badnaantooda to see a price discovery of a particular coin iyo meesha uu sii socdo. So BNB, right now, it's actually sitting on a good accumulation period oo ku jira before it actually breaks out, and you have bahalkaadi, your volume, it's supporting it. And you also have your price action following a good upward trend line. Wuxuu ka haystaa above the 200 simple moving average, above the 50 moving average oo laga soo celiyay as a support. 50gaas haddii lasoo jabsa lahay, 200 was the target, but ma lasoo jabsanin, 50ga waa laga celiyay. So on a daily scale, hadirtan, this is what's happening on bahalkaneeto, BNB. You cannot, I don't know if you had the waxyaalo kale meelahan aad ka raadinaysid, if you were this this is gonna be really funny. If you were to say how this waxyaalahan inta la yiraahdo, this is a rising wage. You know how sometimes rising wage or falling wage, they are not 100% reliable. At least waxa way aday 40 to 50%. Statistics way sameeyaan reliability gooda. So haddii aad ahead dadka fiirinayo this rising wage, waxaad dhihi doontaa, this is a rising wage, hadduu soo jabsado, this would be the target, this is definitely the target. Inta target ka gaarinaysaa, waxaa ka raadinaysaa something to do this and then break out and then retest and then into imaado. But that's to show you sometimes how waxaaneeto rising wage iyo falling wage kaneeto, how unreliable they become. And it's a good thing to also in advantage when you have a good chart pattern dhinaca la yaqaano 90% and 80% above confirmed waaye when it comes to rectangular chart pattern, and this is one of the most chart patterns aniga aan zaid u isticmaalo and aan ka raadsado on a weekly basis, and then I go to daily. Kuwo kalena waa jiraan insha allah waana soo badi doonaa biidni ilkariim, but hadda inta midaan ku hayo inshaan ku hayo waa BNB. At least I have a good daily trend line. Weekly ma ka fikiro ba. At least waxaan ka fikiro aniga on a day on a daily right now wili ma la soo jabsanin. But eventually in my head and in the back of my head waxaan ku haystaa niyadeedii weeklygaygii targetkaygii wili ma la gaarin. Which is at least $1,000 iyo wax ka badan, at least 1,100, maybe even it can double it. Who knows? Allahu a'lam. Nobody can tell you exactly. Qofku dhihi karo ma leh meeshaan uu gaari doonaa, but you can have a good estimation price. Let's see. What is this percentage candidate the afir, you know? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So you have at least, wow, this is a 200%, 250% increase. Why? So if bahalkan haddii oo jabsado and you have the bull market continuing until the end of 2025 ama mid 2025, 200% of 245 at least waxa uu ku tusinayaa right here. This is the minimum. This is the minimum target of that rectangle. This is objectively, waxa la yiraahdo, waa objectively. All it's dhihi doono, there's no subjectivity. Aniga ma dhaho xagu gaari doona. This is me looking at the percentage ka aan kasoo qaadanayo this rectangle ka sida inta usoo sharxeen ee dhaheen measuring principle kiisa, you take it is the top and the bottom. You take from the top, which is 47, to top we have 10 points anaka percentage waaye. Dhinaca marka la yiraahdo cryptocurrency, what you're looking at is a percentage. I have at least a target of $2,000 when it comes to BNB. But you also want to be cautious. Marka is leedahay meelahan aan rabaa inaan ku gaarsiiyo taxadarka waa inaa badisaa. But you gotta go per at least with wax la yiraahdo level by level. 1618 kanet is a good target. I want this 1618 ka bahalkan inuu soo jabsado. This is inta had kusii sawirinaya. I know this is 1618. That's my first target. First target, take profit kegi wakasa. You know, enter along, continue this on a weekly basis, 1618. Target 1 achieved, profit wakakate. Is there going to be a pullback? We'll see when that pullback happens. Pullback I said when it happens, you add more and at least waxa target garanosa above the 1618. 1618 ka said haduu si fiican u jabsanin, a good breakout uusan ka dhicin, or every time oo wax yariis uu ka jabsado ka soo noqdo, it's a good time to actually bahalka la yiraahdo take profits completely at ka baxdid, and then you just wait for another wax la yiraahdo chart formation. I hope this sa aniga aan u qaadanayo qiyaasteyda aan u fiirsanayo at least aad wax ka baratay. If you are an RSI person, RSI it's very very low. You have more time to go. We're above 50, so the bulls are really holding this above it. The one time into imaden they try to take it back. Bahalka la yiraahdo resist 50 below gisa meeshaan hoostiisa waxay isku dayeen inay kasoo dhaafsiiyaan. The bears don't have the upper hand. Waxa haysto the bulls have the upper hand when it comes to BNB. You can also see that there is at least continuation in the RSI, but I do believe that BNB Ganeto has a potential high return compared to your risk return Ganeto. Inshallah, I hope in I would put in the next video another coin, or I'll just show you examples of saaniga over the firfiiriyo kuwanaasha, and then aan inta soo gishto oo aan ka qaadanay trade-ka kuwa kalena I just ignore it. I hope meeshaan inaa wax ka faa'iiday. Just pay attention to BNB. There's going to be a breakout, and once that breakout happens, it's a good confirmation or long fiican loogu gali karo. And what you are wanting to see is a good breakout like BTC amal soo jabsaday. Let's go to BTC. You can look at BTC on a weekly basis. 73 this is the kind of a candle aad u baahan tahay. This is the kind of a candle aad u baahan tahay. You see this breakout cardkan breakout-ka oo ka dhacay BTC camal. This is the kind of a candle. Let's say حتى انت you saw this breakout. Let's say breakout kana aragtay and BNB عمله ka dhacay, and this is where you entered. Arag waxa ka helaysid. You have a good return. Honestly, you have a really good return. Whatever price uu ku gaaray 20-28%, but BNB 20-28%, man, you're looking at least double that. Waxaa fiirinaysaa almost 30-40% aa fiirinaysaa. So that's a good return. This is just BTC waa waxa ka fiirinayo. But I hope inshallah inaad meeshaaseeto aad wax ka faa'iiday. That is one of the isticmaalo chat formations ka aniga aan isha ku hayo. If you liked this analysis ama aan meeshaaneeto waxa ka baratay aad ka faa'iidatay, just comment igu soo qor, and I hope you get to share and subscribe and ummadda kale ala qaybsatid, and we grow as a community. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.